Have you ever stood in your kitchen, looking at the shelves or peeking into the fridge, wondering if the foods you eat every day are helping you live longer or doing the opposite? It's easy to think that longevity comes down to big, dramatic changes like extreme diets or expensive supplements. But what if I told you that some of the most powerful longevity secrets are already sitting in your kitchen, quietly waiting for you to notice them? You don't need a miracle pill to age well. In fact, after 60, your body doesn't need more gimmicks. It needs consistency, nourishment, and a little bit of wisdom from what nature already provides. The real magic? It's in the small things. Things you probably already buy, maybe even every week. And yes, science is starting to agree. More and more studies are showing us that what we eat, specifically the kind of foods we choose every day, has a huge impact on how well we age. Energy, joint health, memory, heart strength, even the glow of your skin. These are all influenced by your diet. But we're not here to talk about strict meal plans or calorie counting. We're here to uncover the treasures that might already be on your countertop or in that kitchen drawer you never think about. Let's start with something simple, familiar, and incredibly powerful: olive oil. Not the cheap, flavorless kind, but real, extra virgin olive oil. You probably cooked with it, maybe even drizzled it on salad or dipped bread in it. But did you know this golden liquid is one of the most studied longevity foods in the world? People in Mediterranean countries have some of the longest lifespans, and one of their biggest dietary staples is olive oil. It's rich in heart-healthy fats, full of antioxidants that reduce inflammation and even supports brain health. There's research linking regular olive oil consumption to reduce risk of heart disease, Alzheimer's, and certain types of cancer. But here's the thing, it's not just about using it. It's about how you use it. Try replacing butter or margarine with olive oil when sautéing vegetables. Or make a simple dressing at home with just olive oil, lemon juice, and a pinch of salt. It doesn't have to be fancy. A teaspoon or two a day, used consistently, can quietly support your body in ways you'll start to feel, like steadier energy, less stiffness in your joints, and that subtle inner glow. Now let's open the spice drawer. You know, the one that probably has cinnamon sticks from 3 holidays ago, and maybe a few mystery bottles. There's one spice that stands out not just for its warm, earthy flavor, but for its incredible health benefits: turmeric. Yes, the bright yellow one that sometimes stains your fingers if you're not careful. Turmeric has been used for thousands of years in ancient medicine, and modern science is now catching up. Its active compound, curcumin, has been studied for its anti-inflammatory effects, especially in the brain and joints. Inflammation is one of those sneaky things that builds up slowly over time. You don't always feel it immediately, but it's working in the background, making you feel more tired, more achy, more foggy. Adding just a pinch of turmeric to your daily cooking, a soup, a stew, scrambled eggs, even a warm cup of milk, can help gently reduce that hidden inflammation. If you pair it with a little black pepper, it works even better. And no, it doesn't have to be a dramatic recipe shift. Think of it like brushing your teeth. One small thing you do regularly that adds up to big results. The beauty of these simple kitchen staples is that they're already within reach. They don't require new routines, fancy packaging, or hours of preparation. They just ask you to be a little more intentional. Pause before you reach for processed oils or salt-heavy seasonings, and instead, reach for what has always nourished humans across generations. When you start making these swaps, using olive oil instead of margarine, adding turmeric to your warm dishes, you might not notice something instantly. There's no big fireworks moment. But maybe a week from now, your knees feel a little less stiff getting out of bed. Maybe your afternoon crash isn't quite as heavy. Maybe your digestion starts to feel more settled. These small shifts whisper, "I'm taking care of myself," without needing to say aloud. They are acts of love for your future self. Now that we've begun with these first 2 simple, science-backed kitchen boosters, we're just getting started. There are more hidden gems to uncover right in your home that are not only delicious, but quietly working behind the scenes to help you live stronger, longer, and with more joy each day. There's something deeply comforting about realizing that your own kitchen can be a source of healing and vitality. It's not some far-off clinic or a lab-created formula. It's right here, where you brew your morning tea and prepare dinner for the people you love. That brings us to another humble, often overlooked ingredient that packs a powerful punch for longevity: garlic. Now, garlic may not win any awards for its scent, especially when it lingers on your fingers. But when it comes to your health, this little bulb is worth getting close to. Garlic has been used for centuries as both food and medicine. Modern research shows it contains compounds that support heart health, lower blood pressure, and may even help regulate cholesterol. And perhaps even more impressively, garlic has antimicrobial and immune-supporting properties, helping your body stay strong, especially during those colder months. You don't need to eat it raw, unless you're feeling brave. Simply chopping or crushing garlic and letting it sit for a minute before cooking helps activate its beneficial compounds. Toss it into your stir-fries, soups, or even roasted vegetables. It brings out deep, rich flavor, and your heart and immune system will thank you for it. 1 or 2 cloves a day can be enough to give you a steady stream of benefits over time. It's nature's little protector, right there in your pantry. Now, let's open that corner of your counter where the fruit bowl sits. Maybe there's an apple, a banana, or a few oranges. But today, let's talk about one fruit that's often underestimated: berries. Whether it's blueberries, strawberries, blackberries, or raspberries, these small, colorful fruits are some of the most powerful anti-aging foods you can eat. What makes berries so special? It's their antioxidants, especially one called anthocyanin, which give them their deep color. These compounds help fight off oxidative stress, which is a fancy way of saying they reduce the internal rusting that happens as we age. Oxidative stress is a major driver behind many age-related issues like memory decline, joint pain, and fatigue. Now, you don't have to buy expensive imported berries out of season. Frozen berries are just as good as fresh, sometimes even better because they're picked and frozen at their peak. A small handful each day, added to your oatmeal, blended into a smoothie, or even eaten as a sweet snack after dinner, can do wonders for your brain, your skin, and your energy levels. You're not just eating fruit. You're nourishing your cells on a microscopic level. And speaking of comfort, let's take a stroll to your tea shelf. Maybe you've got a few boxes of herbal tea lying around: chamomile, peppermint, green tea. If so, you might be surprised to know that green tea is one of the most studied drinks when it comes to aging well. People in Japan, particularly in the Okinawa region, where some of the world's longest living people reside, drink green tea daily. And they don't just drink it for flavor. They drink it for the calm alertness it gives, and the way it supports the body as it ages. Green tea contains a powerful compound called EGCG, which has been linked to lower risks of heart disease, better cognitive function, and even reduced belly fat. Plus, drinking green tea is a calming ritual. That little moment you take to sit down with a warm mug, breathe, and sip slowly, that's medicine too. It's not just what you consume, but how you consume it that matters. Let your tea time be more than a habit. Let it be a pause in your day that nourishes both body and spirit. And let's not forget the ripple effect of these choices. When you replace sugary drinks or processed snacks with a soothing cup of tea or a handful of berries, you're telling your body, I'm here for you. I want you to thrive. That simple, quiet message of self-care builds over time. It adds up, and it becomes one of the most powerful tools in your journey toward a long and joyful life. Each of these foods, olive oil, turmeric, garlic, berries, and green tea, works gently, steadily. They don't shout. They don't promise instant results. But they show up every day with quiet strength. And that's a beautiful metaphor for aging well. It's not about chasing youth. It's about leaning into wisdom, grace, and the kind of health that lets you do what you love, with the people you love, for as long as possible. We've now explored some of the most accessible, science-backed foods hiding in plain sight, right in your kitchen. There's one more to go, a final ingredient that may surprise you with how simple it is, yet how deeply it supports your health and longevity. Let's finish our journey through the kitchen with something that's often pushed aside in favor of fancy superfoods, but might just be the most quietly powerful one of all: beans. That's right, beans, lentils, chickpeas. These humble legumes are perhaps the most underrated longevity foods in the world. It might sound too simple, but science and tradition both agree. People who eat beans regularly tend to live longer. In fact, in all 5 of the world's blue zones, places where people commonly live well into their 90s, and even past 100, beans are a daily staple. These communities aren't chasing trends or eating fancy powders. They're cooking lentil stews, simmering black beans, and adding chickpeas to their salads. What makes beans so special? For starters, they're packed with plant-based protein and fiber, two things our bodies need more of as we age. Protein helps maintain muscle, which naturally declines after 60, and fiber supports digestion and keeps cholesterol in check. But beans do something more. They release their energy slowly, keeping blood sugar stable, which is crucial for preventing fatigue, brain fog, and even diabetes. Plus, they're incredibly affordable. A bag of dried lentils or canned black beans costs very little, but nourishes your body in deep and lasting ways. You don't need to overhaul your whole diet. Just start by adding a small scoop of beans to your soup, a spoonful of hummus to your plate, or a bean salad a few times a week. Over time, you may notice more stable energy, smoother digestion, and even better sleep. And here's the beautiful thing about all of this. These aren't obscure secrets. They're right there in your kitchen, waiting to be used. You don't have to spend hundreds on supplements or try to keep up with the latest health fads. You simply have to return to the wisdom of simple, whole foods, things our grandparents and great-grandparents likely ate every day. Olive oil drizzled over steamed vegetables, a sprinkle of turmeric in your soup, a clove of garlic gently sautéed with greens, a handful of berries with your breakfast, a warm cup of green tea in the afternoon, a bowl of beans in a hearty stew. These aren't big changes, but they lead to big results. And maybe that's the most comforting truth of all. Living longer, aging well, feeling vibrant. It doesn't come from doing everything perfectly. It comes from doing small things consistently, with love, with care, and with intention. So if you're sitting there wondering where to start, just look around your kitchen. Choose one thing, just one, and let that be the beginning. Maybe tonight you swap out a sugary dessert for a small bowl of berries. Maybe tomorrow morning you try adding a spoonful of turmeric to your eggs. These small steps are not just health tips. They're acts of self-respect. They're tiny promises to your body that you want it to thrive. And remember, you're not doing this alone. So many others, right now, are walking the same path with you. People in their 60s, 70s, and beyond, all looking for simple ways to feel better, live longer, and make the most of every day they're given. You're part of something meaningful. If any of these ideas spoke to you, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. Maybe you have your own kitchen secret, something your family always used that's helped you feel strong. Or maybe you just discovered the magic of turmeric or the comfort of beans. Either way, your story matters. And if you found this video helpful, take a second to click like. It helps more people like you discover this content. Don't forget to subscribe, too. We got plenty more tips, stories, and science-backed advice coming your way to help you live your best life at any age. You deserve to feel strong. You deserve to feel clear-headed, energized, and confident in your body. And that's not a dream. It's a goal within reach. Because the path to longevity isn't paved with big leaps. It's built on quiet, consistent choices, like what's on your plate today. Here's to you, to your kitchen, and to many more years of health and happiness. You've got this.